each other for a long time.
Yeah.
And you said something that was a very personal attack.
Yeah, man.
Should I tell the people what you said?
Please. Listen, we're open book. We're open book.
Yeah.
It's an open therapy session.
Everybody
in front
knows
of the world.
my background.
Yes.
Right? I have been a Knicks fan since a kid. That goes back to the 80s. Yes, I'm old. Bernard King dropping 50 on the Celtics. Larry Bird.
I remember.
All that. You remember. What were you? 5? So anyways, then you go ahead and tell me, I lived through the 90s.
Yes.
That you have watched more Michael Jordan than me.
Yes.
And I have this to say to you. How dare you? Do
I
you not remember?
go back to Barton Cable, baby.
I had to survive
yes.
Charles Smith. I had to survive
6'10".
losing year after year to the Bulls in the playoffs.
Yes.
And you saw more. You saw more.
I saw more Jeffrey Jordan. Remember where I'm from, Alan.
Yeah, I know.
Remember where I'm from.
I'm aware.
How did Jordan, when you watch the tap, who did he appreciate? Who did he fear? Who did he have to get past? He had to get past the Detroit Pistons.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched him grow up from a baby. Scottie Pippen's my cousin.
I watched Michael Jordan's very first game at Madison Square Garden where he rocked the baby.
Yup, rocked the baby.
Did a dunk that people were like, what did I just witness? Now kids are doing it in 7th grade. But back then, that was a big deal, man. Nobody did that stuff then. Wearing the Jordans. Before we knew they were Jordans. They weren't called Jordans, by the way. The first Jordans, they weren't called Jordans. They were called Nike. Nike Air.
I understand all that, but you got to remember, I was in there where you had WGN, and all they played in the Midwest was either Bulls games and the Pistons came on local TV.
Or Family Ties.
Exactly.
Reruns of
exactly. And
Three's Company.
Three's Company, Family Ties, Growing Pains.
Right.
You know what I mean? Facts of Life.
All right, so we've both seen a lot of Michael Jordan.
Yeah, but I had to watch him there all the time, because that's all that came on. Listen, I grew up when we only had 4
Anyway,
channels.
the blasphemy, and then we'll get to it because we got other things to get to. But the blasphemy, of course, is that he believes that Kevin Durant is the greatest scorer, right? The most unguardable player in the history of the game.
Yes.
And I just think prime Jordan was unstoppable. Unstoppable.
Early Jordan couldn't even shoot.
I said prime Jordan.
Okay,
You're giving me
Jordan.
early Jordan.
Okay.
Early Kevin Durant couldn't shoot over 40% in the NBA. In his rookie season? So don't give me early.
It's with the
prime.
Supersonics. Yeah, Wilcox. Nobody can set him up.
Chris Wilcox.
Hey, Chris Wilcox,
Yeah,
man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
okay.
Nobody can survive that.
Well, like I said, we'll get back to this. But we talked about this yesterday on our show, Bart and Hahn, noon Eastern, every weekday, ESPN Radio and the ESPN app and ESPN Plus. Just throwing it out there. We talked about this yesterday. It was really funny because I got to get your take.
Yes.
On Carlos Dunlap, who re-signed with the Seahawks. And, of course,
give all his measurables. Give his age, too, because he a grown-ass man sitting up here pillow talking.
So, anyways, if anybody that signs with Seattle or is a player with Seattle, the only topic to discuss with them is what are you hearing about Russell Wilson? Because it sounds like he wants out. And the franchise, are they sure they really want to keep him? And what's going to happen in that whole situation? So, all right, Carlos, you re-signed with the team. Do you know something? Did you talk to Russell Wilson about his future and his plans? And Carlos Dunlap revealed a little, maybe too much?
I did ask him if obviously he was going to be with us, because if I'm coming back because I see him as my quarterback, and the rest of the team, I want to pick up where we left off. And he told me that he's with us and he's here to stay. And he said, let's go Hawks. And I'm not going to quote his every word, or these words are not his words verbatim, but these are my explanation of how I interpreted what he said.
Hang on a second. These were not his words.
But
they were my interpretation of what he said. And he told me he's here with us. He's here to stay. Let's go Hawks. Wait. So, Bart, as a former player yourself, as a Pro Bowler, as an NFL player for 11 seasons, what do you make of this?
Listen, Russell was letting him in the club. He was letting him in the circle of trust. Now he's Gaylord Fokker. He's out of the circle of trust.
He's out of the trust tree?
He's out of the text chain with all the cool guys on the team. You got the cool guys on the team that do outside of stuff. Like Russell Wilson is not a football player anymore. He's an entertainer, right? He got a celebrity wife. They do celebrity stuff. And Carlos Dunlap had the opportunity to be a part of that. But to quote the great Alicia Keys, I won't tell your secrets. Those are the type of teammates I want around me. And he's out there dry snitching, pillow talking, trying to talk to make himself interesting to the people. Because talking about yourself and you coming back isn't interesting enough. You got to go dry snitch about what Russell Wilson said to make yourself feel more important.
What would you say? What would you say if you were if you re-signed with Seattle? I'm the reporter, and I'm like, hey Bart, you're re-signing with the team. Have you talked to Russell? Do you know like what did he tell you anything about his future plans?
Well, listen, I hope Russell's going to be here, man. I know he's got a lot going on right now, but he's my teammate and he's a Seattle Seahawk until he's not.
Did you talk to him?
I signed back here for him.
But did you talk to him?
Yeah, I just told him I was coming back, and I'm excited to come back for him. It's as simple as that.
Right, but what did he say to that?
He said, "Cool, let's go, go Hawks."
Oh, okay. Does that sound like to you then that he wants to stay?
I don't know. I don't know.
But did he give you any indication of that? Because you re-signing must think that the quarterback situation is stable. Otherwise, you probably would have looked elsewhere.
Oh, so you're digging. It is so many amendments that I love. But if I can pick one, I'll pick fifth. How about that? 4-4-5.
Well played.
That's how you roll with that. He over here dry snitching. You can't hang out with us no more. Because who's to say if the paparazzi come up on you about us at the Met Gala, if I let you come with me and Sierra, we hanging out in New York, and you out here dry snitching about what you said. Or you in here live tweeting, going live, and getting me kicked out, making me lose in Georgia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Seattle Russell Wilson in the back with a Coors Light. They don't think he drink.
I mean, what is he going to do at this point, though? Like, what else would you do? What else is he going to do?
You dry snitching, man.
He's still here with us.
One, you're still also messing up my ability to negotiate with the team. Because now you're out here saying
that's why I wanted to get. That's exactly where I wanted to go with that.
You messing up my negotiation. You messing with my money.
Right. That's all right. Now explain that part of it. Because again, we had fun with it, but it really did now really give the explanation. It's why is it not really the best thing for Dunlap to reveal something like that if Russell Wilson is really trying to work his way out of there or get more power, which is what the story is. He wants more say.
Exactly, because I'm in a power struggle, right? So I'm negotiating. I don't need them to know what my true feelings are if those are Russell Wilson's true feelings, because he's trying to get respect put on his name. He's trying to get more influence. He's trying to be able to control what the roster looks like and what he needs to be around him, which they haven't given him that respect. So by you saying that, he's going to be here, makes him seem like he's bluffing. He's playing a game of chicken. He's trying not to blink. But this guy's going to say, hey, no, he told me he good. Like, come on, man. I'm trying to win something here, man.
Like you're Schneider and you're Pete Carroll. You're just like, oh, okay.
Those are his real feelings.
So he's messing with us, but he doesn't want to go nowhere.
Right.
But yet, isn't the feeling and the talk, and you bring up Sierra, isn't it that he's kind of always felt, even 2 years ago before they gave him the extension, there was that flirtation with the idea of playing in New York, and there was some talk about the Giants, and that Sierra wants to be in more of a bigger market, in a place where
when you look at his list,
her business, her celebrity, that she could take more advantage of it. Where way up in the Northwest, as much as we all love Seattle, I love Seattle as a city. We all know it's just very far away from civilization.
Man, listen, if you fly from anywhere on the East Coast to Seattle, it's the farthest you could fly.
Yes.
We all know that, right? And understand, when you look at Russell Wilson's list, what was that list? It was all places that had great entertainment value.
Dallas,
it was big
Chicago.
cities. Chicago, Miami.
And what was it?
Was it New Orleans?
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
right, which is right there by everything, right? So when you look at that list, that tells me that happy wife, happy life, right? And the best of both worlds gives him the ability to also become a bigger brand, to be seen more, because the West Coast bias. You can't really see teams on the West Coast because people on the East Coast are asleep. So it gives him an opportunity, it gives her an opportunity. I believe they have a house out here in New York. So that gives him an opportunity, a big market, to be able to have her, to be able to push her career, and be able to handle all that stuff as well. But I don't need him dry snitching.
All right, but do you feel like after hearing, all right, you can say that you don't like it, but after hearing what Dunlap said, do you feel pretty secure in the fact that he's going to be there long term, or no?
You think Russell wouldn't lie to his teammates? Every once in a while, you got to use your teammates, because they got diarrhea of the mouth. You know they're going to go tell everything. So now, hey, you ever had friends, or you say something to your kids because you know they're going to tell your mom, but it's something that you want to tell mom?
100%.
So that's what you're doing. Russell Wilson just playing Jedi mind tricks. Carlos Dunlap don't know that he's being used.
These are not the droids.
He's acting like the Croods right now. And right now, Russell Wilson is a better man, and he's the Neanderthal, right? So he's the better man. See,
let's bring in Jeff Darlington on the Goodyear Hotline, because Jeff's been all over this story, our ESPN NFL reporter. Jeff, good morning. Thanks for joining us. I don't know if you've heard any of this conversation, but Bart has
wildly entertaining.
Bart has a problem with Carlos Dunlap, he calls it dry snitching on Russell Wilson. But
Yeah.
us as reporters, we look at it like, well, perfect. He gave us something. Now we have something to build off of. He hinted, obviously, that it sounds like Russell Wilson will end up staying in Seattle. So when you see that or hear what he said, do you feel like he's on to something or not?
So a couple things. First of all, I didn't know Bart Scott was the king of the analogy. I mean, like, this has been the most incredible 5 minutes, like, in ESPN's analogy history. It's some of my favorite television I've ever
just
heard.
got downloaded by 100%. I won't tell your secrets. Alicia Keys, one of her best songs, just got downloaded 100,000 times.
I want to see Darlington use that reference.
I mean,
in the
I'm over
story
here,
now.
like, you know, Googling things for sure. So here's the thing I'll say about